By 1944, Hitler's fortress Europe had dominated the continent for 4 long years. From the shores of Norway to the Greek islands, the swastika flew. But across the English Channel, the greatest invasion force ever assembled was gathering. This was Operation Overlord, the Allies' audacious plan to open a second front and begin the liberation of Western Europe. The fate of the free world rested on a single day, a day that would live in history as D-Day. The plan was staggering in its scale. Over 150,000 men, nearly 7,000 ships, and 11,000 aircraft were poised to strike the heavily fortified coast of Normandy, France. The German defences, known as the Atlantic Wall, were a formidable network of bunkers, machine gun nests, and obstacles, commanded by the legendary Field Marshal Erwin Rommel. To succeed, the Allies needed secrecy. Operation Fortitude, a brilliant deception campaign, convinced the Germans that the main invasion would come at Pas-de-Calais, the shortest point across the Channel. The real target was a 50-mile stretch of Normandy coastline, divided into 5 codenamed beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. The invasion began in the dead of night on June 6, 1944. Thousands of American and British paratroopers from the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions dropped behind enemy lines. Their mission was chaotic and perilous. Scattered by high winds and anti-aircraft fire, they fought in small, isolated groups to seize key bridges, crossroads, and causeways, sowing confusion and disrupting German reinforcements. They were the tip of the spear. As dawn broke, the main amphibious assault began. The vast armada appeared off the coast of Normandy, unleashing a deafening naval bombardment. Higgins' boats, packed with terrified but determined young men, churned towards the shore. On 4 of the beaches, Utah, Gold, Juno, and Sword, the landings, while costly, were successful. Allied troops overcame the initial defences and began pushing inland. But on Omaha Beach, the plan fell apart. The preliminary bombardment had missed its targets. German defences were untouched and manned by veteran troops. As the ramps of the landing craft dropped, the American soldiers were met with a murderous wall of machine gun and artillery fire. The first waves were cut down in the surf. The beach became a killing field, littered with the dead and dying. For hours, the fate of the entire invasion hung precariously in the balance. It was only through small acts of incredible bravery, as individual soldiers and junior officers took the initiative, that the men were able to get off the beach, scale the bluffs, and finally silence the German guns. By the end of the day, the Allies had clawed their way ashore. The cost was immense, over 10,000 Allied casualties on D-Day alone, with more than 4,000 confirmed dead. But they had established a foothold. The Atlantic Wall was breached. The race to liberate France had begun. D-Day was not the end of the war, but it was the beginning of the end. It was a monumental feat of planning, courage, and sacrifice. The actions of the men who stormed those beaches on June 6, 1944, changed the course of history, leading directly to the downfall of the Third Reich less than a year later. It was the day the world's democracies risked everything to reclaim a continent from tyranny, a day that must never be forgotten.